responsibilities from the Better Club series. So listen up from here. Oh.
No clapping? Go Navy. Get rowdy. This is going to be the most exciting, interesting, and informative speech you have ever had in your entire life.
Wow.
Woo. It will not be ephemeral. Well, it could be. We'll have to stretch it out for 5 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to talk from the Successful Club series. It's one of the required speeches that we have to do. And we're going to talk about the meeting roles and responsibilities. I know that there's some new folks here. Some of us have been around a while, and we may not know about all the roles. I am going to be asking for audience participation. So if you are performing a role today, and yours is the role that I'm referring to, hopefully you know what your function is. Okay? So, moving on. One of the main roles that we have with a meeting is the Toastmaster. And who here knows what the Toastmaster's roles are each week? Read.
I wasn't aware this was an interactive exercise.
They prepare a
timesheet.
They also send out an email to confirm the roles, to find out if everyone's going to be here, and also to help find replacements for those that couldn't make it for whatever reasons. The Table Topics Master. Who's Table Topics Master today? Oh, this should be quite interesting. Please tell us what the Table Topics Master's roles are.
Well, the Table Topics Master likes to talk about the topic of the meeting, which in this case is ketchup and mustard. So he just gives a few unique topics and asks questions to the guests and makes them speak very impromptuously on the spotlight.
Impromptuously, I like that word. A couple of other things for the Table Topics Master, and this is something I think we often forget. The Table Topics person should check the schedule and see that if those people who already have a speaking role maybe are not included in the Table Topics unless there's just not enough people. That kind of shares the wealth, and also to invite guests to speak as well. Sometimes it kind of brings them in and gives them a feeling of participation as well. Okay, next role, kind of the main role, is the speakers. Who knows what the speakers do? Well, I'm up here. Speakers speak. The speakers speak, and what the book reads, and stop that please, they dedicate time and energy planning and practicing manual speeches. Now, one thing I will say that I am the visual aid here, so on my evaluation sheet, just please remember that. The general evaluator. What does the general evaluator do for a meeting? They have a general evaluator checklist.
Oh, prepared for us by Jeremy, who also prepared one for Table Topics and Toastmaster, which is available to all of us. And as you can see, I introduce the evaluators. I make sure we're running on time. I call for technical table reports. And I give 1 or 2 positive and improvement comments at the end of the meeting.
Wow. That was perfect. She was reading here. Next, we have our speech evaluators. And the speech evaluators help speakers by providing evaluations through, what do they use to evaluate those speeches? Annette, do you have any idea?
What do I use to evaluate speeches?
Sure.
The little handy-dandy
That
guidelines.
is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. She hit the nail right on the head.
I'm busy.
They verbally review the speaker's strength and areas for improvement. And one thing that I was told when I first started here was you kind of use the sandwich method. You give a couple of good things, maybe 1 or 2 things that weren't so good, and then some more good stuff, and then get out of the way for the next person. Okay? And that usually helps us out. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I always enjoy getting those little comments to say how good or how bad you did. I know my problem is notes, So whenever you see me speak, always write that down first because I'll probably always use notes, okay? So keep that in mind. Next thing we have is the timer. And you know I'm going, who's it, Thomas? The timer. I have cash today, though, so I'm good. The timer helps speakers learn to convey their message within a specific time limit. Basically, they keep track of how we're up here. But one thing that I try to do as well is with electronics, a lot of us have cell phones or other things as well. I've seen some other clubs where they have a little clock. You can kind of keep an idea on how long you're going to. Can you get this page for your phone? Is this for me? Lost my train of thought. Some clubs have additional meeting roles. Some of these I've never heard of. Presenter of invocation. Well, I think that's our pledge and toast person at the beginning of the meeting. A joke master. Our speeches are usually quite humorous. Well, I don't see there's a need for one. Okay. We have vote counter. We talked about the vote counter vote. It's pretty simple. They count the votes. Okay. And remember, if there's more than one speaker, you 2 votes for first place and then 1 for the other. No, 2 are counted for first, so make sure you vote for everyone, a first and a second place. A parliamentarian, I don't have a clue what that is, but if we ever need one, I'm sure there's some definition of that role out there. A couple of other things that the club officers do is we have a sergeant at arms. And I know, and I'm not going to make Joan pop up again, but the sergeant at arms there, thank you. Must have a great rest. You didn't get me that time. I caught you. They confirm the meeting location. They arrange the room and equipment and make sure all of our stuff is here. President, Michelle, she provides leadership for us. It looks like her mouth is full, so I'm not going to ask her to say anything. But she kind of gives us things on what's coming up and maybe future functions and things such as that. Vice President of Education, well, that's me. It says that I plan each meeting, I schedule assignments, and I chart members' accomplishments. I haven't done any of that, but I'm sure I will in the future. And then we have a few more roles as well. We have the public relations person, that's Kathy, you know what she does, she keeps us all happy. Vice President of Membership gets more members, and a secretary and a treasurer to keep track of dollars and minutes of the meeting. And in conclusion, that's what we do as a role. So please take your role seriously, and if you're not going to be here, let us know. Mr. Postman.